What's up? This is Gilbert Arenas rocking with the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Y'all tune in. Holla at your boy.
Hey, Coach. We
How you
will
doing?
get started here. Good. How are you?
Great.
All right. Let's start with Sam Perley.
Hey, GB, I hope you're doing well. I know we've spoken the last few games about how well the defense has been playing. I know it's still a relatively small sample size, but are you surprised, I guess, at where you guys are at this point of the season defensively, just factoring in the accelerated training camp, younger roster, and just kind of the weird times that we're in?
Well, it's really what we've committed to, Sam. So, I didn't know how quickly it progressed, but I think they've gotten better. There's pride there. We're doing a number of things defensively. So I give our guys a lot of credit. I'm a little surprised at how quickly they're picking up the schemes. But the overall pride is there. They believe, they know for us to be a good team and a top tier team in the Eastern Conference, we have to defend. And as of this morning, we're a top 10 defense and we want to stay there. There's a pride about that. So, for me, I think probably the biggest surprise is that they've been able to handle the different schemes in a very short time frame.
Rick Bonnell.
JB, obviously you guys were not in the bubble, so some of this stuff is new, but to what degree has the pandemic complicated what you normally would do as far as practicing, traveling, shoot-arounds, everything that goes into keeping a team on point in the regular season?
Rick, it's been very disruptive. I mean, for not just for us, for every team in the league. It's your day-to-day schedules. There's very little rhythm right now. You got to get creative in how you stay together as a team, how you build a team. But we're getting creative. It's part of the process. I kind of love the challenge of it. To be honest, I love the challenge. This is a good group of men, and we're finding ways to connect, to build camaraderie, to build our culture. And it's forced us to get creative. And I think that's our job. That's my job, is to get creative and make sure that we're getting what we need. The development piece has probably been the most challenging for the young guys, the guys that aren't getting many minutes. To me, that's been the most disruptive piece. Is you just can't get them the live reps that I would like to. And it's unfortunate, but we're going to do our best. I think the G League season, hopefully that's ahead of us, will help cure some of that.
Also, following up on Sam's question about defense, I remember when you guys were playing well at the end of last season, you talked before the Miami game about how you felt you'd hit a little bit of a breakthrough as far as a level of people trusting each other and anticipating what each other needed. You went 9 months between then and now. I wondered if you think you had any carryover value from what that was to what that is. I
do think it's carried over. I do. The last month of the season, we were playing some really solid defense. I think we found some footing on our defense the last month of the season. A lot of that was personnel based too. We had some more length. We had more length out there, more versatility, more defensive minded group. And it's been our focus in the off season, making sure that we solidify our defense. Adding the IQ of Gordon, the size of Gordon helps. He comes from good stock in defense. He's a good basketball player with size. LaMelo obviously has size. He's a work in progress defensively, but he gives us size. So I do think a lot of this defensive success we've had this early does go back to the seed we sowed last year, the last month of the season. And I'd say that the same thing offensively. A lot of what's happening right now, we sowed this seed a while ago, and now we're seeing the fruits of that. Again, we're not where we need to be, but a lot of this foundation was put in place over a year ago, and our guys have bought into that.
Thanks.
Rod, go ahead.
Hey, JB, I know you mentioned yesterday about being over 500, not really a big deal per se in terms of the guys and talking about it. But when you think about building a winning culture and trying to get the program, the organization where you want to, just what about the mentality of trying to not only stay over 500, but just not even think about that mark, because winning teams obviously don't even think about 500 records because they're always winning per se. Just what about that and trying to build your program up the way you want to?
Yeah, I think our mentality now, I mean, the bar has been raised. The mentality is we want to win every single game. We believe we can win every single game. That's the mentality. Every night we step on the floor, we want to be a winning organization. We want to be someone that's consistently in the playoffs. We want to be a team that's contending in the Eastern Conference. And that just takes, it's not one move, it's not one draft. It's all these acquisitions, it's the development of players. It's hitting on second rounders, it's hitting in the draft, it's developing guys, it's getting them better. And it's just not one thing, but over the course of time, it opens up opportunities. And right now, we're in a good place. You know, we believe we're headed in the right direction. The mentality right now is to win every single game and to go out there and compete. And I believe we have a team that can do that. No matter who's in front of us, we believe we have a shot every single night. And that mentality has to stay there, you know, and I think the challenge now is getting comfortable, you know, and that's where I have to make sure that our guys are focused game to game, day to day, that we don't relax and think we've accomplished something. We're only 11 games in. This is a journey, this is a process, and the way winning cultures and organizations are formed, they do it night in and night out. And that's the challenge, that you don't get complacent. You don't start thinking you've done something amazing. You go out the next night and you do it again and you do it again. And to me, that's what winning looks like.
Christos, go ahead.
Hello, Coach. I would like to ask you what was the biggest, the main difference between the team in the early of the season and the last 4 games? You have 4 straight wins, and also what impressed you most about LaMelo's process so far?
Well, the last 4 games we've played well. I think it's come together a little bit more over the last 4 games. We've played well on both sides of the ball. Our defense has really picked up. And I think that the offense is rounding into form and shape. We've just gotten better every game. You know, that's the biggest thing. Overall, in general, we've gotten better every game. The mindset is there. Guys are getting more comfortable in our system. They're getting more comfortable with each other. They're getting more comfortable in their roles. What's your question about LaMelo?
What impressed you about LaMelo's process so far in the season?
Just his maturity. You know, he understands the game at a high level. He impacts the game in multiple ways. You know, the passing, the shot making, and the rebounding. You know, all 3 of those phases, he's impacting winning for us. So far, he's off to a good start.
Thank you.
Richard Walker.
Coach, Richard Walker, CarolinaSportsHub.com. Speaking of LaMelo, obviously people in our business are so determined to make comparisons. At the age he's at and the physical stature and size he is there a thought that he's going to be more mature and grow into a bigger, stronger guy, obviously with his thin build, and that could lead into the direction, you know, of Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway type comparisons? I mean, how do you look at that, or do you think that would change his game if he got bigger and stronger?
He will get bigger and stronger. There's no doubt. He's got to build some strength, and more so to sustain an 82-game season. You know, I know this year's 72, but in general, 82 games is a long season. It's a grind, and to do that, you physically got to be capable of handling that, and that'll come over time for him. He's got the frame for it. Our medical performance team do a great job of keeping our guys healthy, but also growing and getting bigger and stronger and more flexible. All those things are things he's going to get better at. How that changes his game, I don't know. We'll figure that over time, but he's definitely going to get bigger and stronger over these next couple seasons.
Jacob Rude.
Hey, Coach. This is Jacob with USA Today. Seems like this season you've used Gordon as a screener, particularly with LaMelo. I know it seemed like it started that Atlanta game, and then you went back to it a couple times. What is it about that action that has helped you guys find so much success?
Well, it's putting two players in a position to make plays, and I trust those guys. We give them certain sets to play out of, and they make good reads and they make it tough on the defense, and there's a number of sets we go to now, and something we've liked over the last few games, and we'll continue to go to it. But what do I like about it? I think it's just putting two good players in positions to make plays at the top of the floor. And we'll continue to move them around. Gordon will handle in the pick and roll. He'll set in the pick and roll. We do other stuff in our pick and roll as well. So we just got to keep teams guessing right now. But I have multiple options to go to, whether that's LaMelo and Gordon, that's Terry and Gordon, that's Terry and LaMelo. There's a number of combinations I've gone to, and we've played a little bit more small action this year than we've done in the past. But I think all those things are good for our offense, our flow, and trying to create good offensive opportunities for us.
Thank you.